Good morning. If you're watching this video, you must have got here. So this is where we'll have the lessons during the virtual school, and you know how this works. So just a quick little introduction usually, and there won't be a whole lot to say this time, but yeah, I'll just do a little video each time to introduce what you're supposed to do. So you'll be logging into Code High School, and if you log in fresh, you'll come to here, and of course you'll click on it, and so the deal is that I want you to tidy up or finish up all of the parts that you have not yet done up to and including lesson 11. So the questions you'll have will include, should I be doing the quizzes? Yes. Should you be watching the videos? Yes. And that's the big one really. And that will take you the time this go around, because I guess we watched the first few videos, but then we started to have the internet issues, and that's all solved now. But in the meantime, we didn't watch the videos, and we continued to not watch them until that very last one. So yeah, I would like you to watch the videos. Do you need to watch all of them for them to turn green? Probably not, but you should. So make the most of this. Make the most of your time at home to really consolidate what we've done. I am going to move you on further Thursday and then the 3 classes next week. So there's a lot coming your way, and you're going to be on your own. And for a lot of you, that probably is a relief because you wanted to motor ahead. Well, let's just say that it would have been a whole lot easier to motor ahead with the introductory lessons than it will be to motor ahead with the more difficult ones as we move on. So you need to make sure that you've got all the fundamentals solid. So please do watch the videos. Do watch the videos and do the quizzes and do all of the exercises. Then the other big thing is, what if I can't get it to turn green? So let's just take this one for example. I mean, the first thing I would say is go back and try again. I mean, when you submit, it should give you a pretty good idea of what the issue is. I mean, I can see what it is right now. And you might not have been able to see what the issue was back when we did this the first time. So submit and continue, and it'll tell me that it looks like your indentation is off on line 19. Okay, so sure enough it is. And you might not have noticed that when we first started this, but now you probably will notice that it should be, all the lines should be tabbed in once within a function. So that'll turn it all green. And frankly, that will be the issue a lot of the time. So definitely check for errors in indentation. And let me get another one here. Let me go back or forward maybe to one of these. Remembering that there's this idea of cuddling your braces, and I guess we're not going to see them there. How about way over here? Yeah, that they like to have else's. If you had an else, they like to have else's cuddled right next to the closed brace for the if. So if you're doing else's and you're trying to get everything to be green, you definitely will have to put the else on the same line as the closed brace of the if before it. This will turn things yellow. Okay, that's one little minor thing. See that? The yellow should go away, and it does. Then, just in terms of other potential errors, let me just try to pull a couple up here. Like, what if you forgot a semicolon here? Let's just see what happens when we go continue. See what the error is. Oh, it gave me no error. Isn't that curious? Well, well, well. It's supposed to have given you an error. Maybe it's only on the exercises. So let me go to an exercise. Let's go to one that's done. and try that. We'll take away any old semicolon and see what the error message is. And it'll tell you right there, you wrote make stack. Well, did a pretty good job there, didn't it? Right? So you can either read that with red error message that you wrote make stack, double close parentheses without semicolon, it should have been with a semicolon, or see what it says when you submit and continue. And in fact, here it's giving you probably 2 errors for the same thing. Let's just close this and see if that's the case. Yep. Okay, so I guess that's just a good place to end. There's not much more to say except take your time, look through. I guess there are a couple more things to remind you of, but in terms of errors, that's enough. That I want to point out sometimes the errors or the error messages are not perfect. So for example, here it was giving you 2 error messages for just 1 semicolon. But yeah, before I end this video, I guess a couple of other things to mention as you're trying to get everything to work is just remember what you've got at your disposal. That you've got the result world over on the left, you've got the quick docs, which often will show a lot more than that. You've got the full docs, which will show everything. One of the more important ones would be all your different conditions, all these conditions. But everything's here. There's your if-else, there's showing you the cuddle. Your loops, you haven't done the while yet, but you've done the for. So anyway, everything's there. The exercise is restated over in this tab. And back to run code. And maybe the final thing I will mention, well, I can't get that to go away, but the final thing I'll mention is don't forget when you are trying to make things work, you really should take things one step at a time. Reset your code and step, 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 step. Trying to find where you had an error or to get to the place where you're ready to move on and do the next step. And get back in touch with me, by all means. Email is the easiest way for now. Maybe later on we'll do some sort of Google Meet or something like that. But for now, just email me if you're having issues, any problems. And again, what you're trying to do, the goal for today, is to make it all green, all the way down, videos included, quizzes included, all the way down to the end of if-else statements.